Just a bit of context here before we start today's video. Last night, Samuel was told by Miles Smith on Twitter that he should be calling the shots of Futureshock, and he hasn't let that get to his head at all, as you'll see by the tweet where he's called himself the voice for the voiceless. So today, I'm going to give him a chance to book Futureshock, as you guys can see if he truly deserves the spot. Roll that intro.
Hello and welcome back to Rambling About Wrestling, the only wrestling news company which is banned from subscribing to the PWI. Mine and Jack's lawyers have advised we don't say anything else on the matter. I'm Sam, and this is the first episode of Gaze into the Future. Shock. The one-stop shop for all fantasy booking, because YouTube wrestling content hasn't evolved since 2014. Each episode I'll be looking at a wrestler or a championship in Futureshock and book what I like to see them do in the promotion, in a storyline, or a specific time frame. What better place to start than with the most charismatic man in the promotion? No, it isn't Peter Bradders, it's Tassel Man himself, the leading man, Tony Wright. Tony Wright has recently won himself the Futureshock Adrenaline Championship, and so far has had 2 successful defences against Big Sam Bailey and the man he beat for the belt, Scott Oberman. Now, from what Jack told me, this is a 3-year-old storyline at least, with Tony not being able to win the gold until now. Think of it as Sami Zayn, but if Zayn had a decent barber. So what is in the future for Mr. Wright, and will it all go wrong? Let's find out as we gaze into the future. Shock. We begin this booking with the last Adrenaline title match of the year, which is confirmed to be Tony Wright versus Najo. Now this match is interesting as it's face versus face, but I feel like no matter what, Tony Wright will be the one cheered for more because he's the most over man in the promotion, while Najo had some haters, notably Jack. Which I'll be glad to know that I think Tony will retain, even though I really want Najo to win. Also, if Tony lost the first match in the booking video, that won't really make a bunch of sense if I'm booking his 2026, and we haven't even got to 2026, and he's lost the title. Okay, 2026. Tony's first opponent is... It's an open challenge. Now, I know, it's overdone, and Joey Hayes has proven that a title reign based on all open challenges isn't really that fun to watch when you lay it all out. But stay with me because I have an idea. This open challenge is answered by Declan McCarthy. In my booking, would be the current Futureshock World Champion. But he doesn't challenge in a sense. What happens is Declan McCarthy comes out and he sends all of the PC members on Tony. They beat him up. It's not a match. He pushes the ref out of the way so you can't officialise this match. And it's basically just a beatdown of Tony. And all the while, Declan McCarthy is speaking on the mic. He says, "You see, Tony, open challenges are just an excuse. You have to fight for the right for a belt. I can't have weak champions in my company. Next month, you'll fight a winner." So instead of an Adrenaline Championship Open Challenge on that show, we have a 6-man scramble match. Last pinfall wins. Whoever has the last pinfall after 15 minutes will challenge Tony Wright the next month. It's McCarthy rules. In the end, both of the Tevlin brothers pin an opponent at the same time, both sides of the ring. The ref counts it, but then when it comes, the timer finishes, he doesn't know who to raise his hand because they both pin them at the same time. They both have the most current pinfall. McCarthy, who has been on commentary throughout this whole match, says that next month, Wright can fight both in a triple threat match for the title. In February, the match comes up, and the Tevlins immediately throw Tony out the ring and try for an easy pinfall, one of them laying down for the other, finger poke of doom. Now, luckily, Wright is able to pull the Tevlin that's being pinned under the ropes and out the ring, so it gets broken up. And from then on, Tony is fighting from beneath, having to come against both Devlins as they just worked together to take him out of the match for good. And it looks like Wright is out of his depth here, 2 people at once. But there's one fatal mistake that these men make that allow Tony to retain, and that's the fact that since the plan of an easy win is out the window, both Devlins want to be the Adrenaline champion. And their infighting allows Tony to get the upper hand for just long enough to snag the win, pinning one of them. I don't know which one, it doesn't really matter. After the match, McCarthy comes out and you think that he's going to attack Tony, but instead he shakes his hand. Tony, beating 2 of his trainees, has earned his respect. Now in March, and Gorgon is Tony Wright's next opponent. You see, Gorgon believes AJ stole his win, and that Gorgon should be the rightful Adrenaline title holder by now. So he's decided to take this match slow, and uses the Horde to try and get the upper hand. But AJ comes out, making the save, evening the odds, and allows Tony to win the match without interference from Solomon and the rest of the Horde. This leads to April, where we can show that Tony can pull double duty when needed. On the double header for April, we have Tony Wright and AJ fighting Solomon and Gorgon from the Horde in the first show. Now, Gorgon would pin AJ in this match, continuing the Horde versus AJ storyline. While in show 2 of this event, Tony will fight none other than Jensen Vesper, as Jensen Vesper won a 4-way last month for the number 1 contendership. He was fighting Nate Reese, Slam Johnson, and Peter Sedor. Now, while Nate Reese was distracted by Slam, wanting to teach him a lesson after Slam broke up a pin that Nate Reese tried, Sedor and Vesper make a deal in the ring. Sedor lays down for Vesper, and Vesper will give Sedor the first title match once Vesper wins the Adrenaline title. Now, that doesn't go as to planned, as Tony is able to pick up the win on Vesper, and Wright retains. June doesn't have any storyline or backstory heading into it. I just think that Lee Dawson versus Tony Wright would be a good match, and I want them to have a great match. So there's no storyline needed. Both of them remain face, because I think either of them heel would be a mistake. We go to July, and we're going to reuse an opponent, not from my booking, just from this title reign, as he will fight Sam Bailey. Now, I know reusing opponents is boring, and you don't want to see them fight too many times, but I think with Bailey, what I want is a storyline for Sam Bailey of him thinking that he doesn't have it in his locker and maybe retiring at the anniversary show. Now, Bailey can do what he wants, but this is just in storyline. You don't have to do it in real life. He has tons in the tank. He can go still. But I just think in the storyline and in the world of Futureshock, this seems like an appropriate time to pull that storyline, especially with how Sam Bailey portrays himself on Twitter. But yeah, Tony retains against Bailey, and that will lead into the anniversary show where Bailey will see if he retires or not. I haven't thought of that storyline the whole way through, but if you would like to see that booking, Sam Bailey maybe retires. Is it the last time now? Branding. Just so you know. It's there if you want it. Might not even get another episode after this. It's August, and for the anniversary show, we have a guest who no longer wrestles at Futureshock, challenging for the title. Wright's old friend Joe Blazer is back. And he says, "You know, Doherty, you wouldn't have found your guts if it wasn't for me. I made you. And now I have to break you. You're getting too confident for your own good, Tony. This ends now." Their match closes show 1 of the anniversary show. And 1 year on from Wright earning the title, winning the Adrenaline title, he retains still. Yes, he's holding this belt for over a year, but that's not how the first show ends an anniversary, as we need fresh blood in this division, and we need a new bad guy to fight Tony. That's why I propose that after Tony wins, as he's celebrating, he's attacked by the winner of a number one contender battle royal that was hosted at the start of show 1 of the anniversary. Pele. Not Prince Pele, just Pele. You see, wrestling isn't fun anymore for Pele. He's had enough of being everyone's hype man and being nice to everyone but getting no grace in return, so why should he be nice? Gen 1 are finally not fine. He attacks Tony while Tony is celebrating after beating Joe Blazer and smashes his leg against the ring post. Tony's hurting coming into the September show but tries his best, but Pele is too rabid to be contained. He beats Tony and wins the Adrenaline Championship, ending Tony's reign after over a year. Now, we don't see Tony for a while. In reality, he's been booked in other promotions across the UK because he is a great talent. But in storyline for Futureshock, he is injured because of the attacks and the match from Pele. Now we get to December and the annual Futureshock Last Chance Battle Royale, where the winner will get a spot in the trophy tournament. This is where Tony Wright returns and I'd have him win, gaining a spot within said tournament. And I think that he wins this tournament. Now, does he challenge for the tag titles, for the Adrenaline title, for the world title? You're going to have to find out next time, as that will be going into 2027, and I don't feel confident booking 2 years in advance for Mr. Tony Wright, as a lot of things can change. What did you think of my booking? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you soon for another gaze into the future. Shock.